Tactical nuke incoming!
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
No one has ever done that! No one has ever done that!
No, get the camera!
It's my birthday this week and my wife's got me an amazing present. 1985 Honda Vision, registered in July 85, almost exactly a year after I was born. Let's have a look at it. So here she is, let's have a look around her. I'm not actually sure what model it is yet, but it's a Honda Vision. I think it's an NB50 I guess, but I haven't found anywhere where it says it yet. We are on 7415 miles at the moment. Now, it went for an MOT last in 2009 and was 7406 miles at that MOT. And the MOT before that, which was in 2006, it was 7403. So basically, it's done 12 miles in 10 years, or 11 years. So it's not had a great deal of use recently. Now, it was owned by, I'll show you the stickers while I'm talking, because I know you love stickers. It's been owned for the last, I think it was from 1998 they bought it, by the couple I bought it off. The lady is the manageress of a co-op food shop, and she got transferred to the one near my work, which was a bit far for her to ride because she'd had a year off riding it to work because she'd had a brain injury. So it hasn't had much use since then. It's just been stored in the garage. And it's still got the original tax disc on it, which is quite cool. It's sort of the more upmarket version of the other one I've got, the Mini Melody. It's bigger, feels sturdier. It's got stuff like a fuel gauge, which we'll explore in a minute. The keys with it. It's got a little cubby hole thing here. The other one didn't have anything like that. So you can put your can of beer in there before you set off. The other one did have this, but the lock doesn't work on the Mini Melody. Can I do it one-handed? Yes, I can. There we are. So I've took the battery out to put it on charge. I don't think it's savable, to be honest, because it was reading 0.1 volts. But I'm going to give it a go. My other battery that I bought for the Mini Melody looks like it's not working very well either, because I've not kept it topped up like a silly boy. Some nice yellow fuel in there, but it doesn't smell. So, who knows? I'm going to drain it out anyway once I work out how the petcock works. It's got oil injection in there, nice and full. And it's got the top box on it as well. It used to be red. It's even got the little key on the keyring for the top box, which is nice. It's a locking top box, but it's not locked at the moment. The hinge on the top box is broken. There we are, and when I got it, there was even a Haynes manual for the bike in there, so that's quite cool. Just seems to let in a little bit of water at the bottom, and it's held on by cable ties. But there is a tiny screw there, so that might be something useful, I don't know. Just balance that on for now. Because there's no battery in it, I don't want to try and start it, but I have kicked it over. Turns over with compression, which is nice. It may end up being hydrolocked like the other one I had because it's been left with the oil in the fuel injection, but we will see. So next job, get a battery on it. Even if the battery doesn't work, it acts as like a voltage regulator, so you don't blow all your lights and things if you do get it started. See if I can work out how to drain the tank, put some fresh fuel in it, maybe check it for spark, and see if we can get it to go. Ta-da! Right, so what I've done with it is there was a bolt or a screw down there, a nut up there, and then the 4 nuts, 2 here and 2 there holding the rack on. I had to cut the cable ties holding the box on, and then the 2 shrouds just lifted off. Gorgeous metallic red colour that they are. And here is the engine. So next up, find the fuel line, and there's your petcock. Right, so one of those is a fuel line, one's a vacuum line. I think it's a vacuum, it might be positive pressure it puts on it, I don't know. Instead of actually turning the petcock, it works on the crankcase pressure and lets the fuel in that way. It's automatic basically. I'm seeing a lot of similarities between this beast and the other one, but the other one had the manual petcock, so that's a big difference. Basically, all I need to do is undo the fuel line to the carb and put negative or positive air pressure on the other one, which I'm assuming is that one, which will open the diaphragm, let all the fuel drain out and put some fresh in. So that is the plan. Here I might as well do as I'm told and soak the air filter element in clean gear oil, if I've got any. Now then, there's 4 screws that hold on the air cover, and there's your element. I think we could do worse than to replace that really, since it's just ripping when I touch it. So I'll see if I can find some foam somewhere and cut myself a new one, because it's just totally turning to dust when I touch it, unfortunately. Maybe even buy one, you never know. So I've consulted the amazing manual that came free with it. Incidentally, this bike was 50 quid. 50 quid. There's a bit of damage to the plastics and everything. 50 quid. I can't get over that. That's amazing value. But anyway, I digress. So it turns out that's your vacuum pipe and that's your fuel pipe. So I need to unclip that, suck down it basically, and then all the fuel should dribble out of that one, which I shall also unhook. So here's a positive thing. There's a little screw at the bottom of the carb there, and if I stick a screwdriver in it, I know you can't see, and loosen it off, I was thinking all the fuel would have dried up, and come on, it all comes pissing out, look, so it can drain the float bowl. Probably not the best idea to do it straight onto the patio. I'll use this beer can with fag ends in it. That would be perfect. Yeah, I still don't think that's particularly doing the trick, is it? Never mind, eh? But that's the float bowl drained. And I had a bit of trouble getting the fuel line off. I'll just do that, screw up. A bit of trouble getting the fuel line off at that end because the electric choke, yeah, electric choke, I know. The cable for it was a bit in the way, so I couldn't undo that clip. This clip at the top was really corroded and just snapped when I pulled on it, so I ended up taking it off the top. So if there's a way I can do this one-handed, I'm going to blow down here, stuff should come out of there and into there, and I'll have some sort of Molotov cocktail at the end of it. So let's see if I can wedge that on there. We'll do it like that. Look at this. How am I going to get my mouth near it? I'm not, am I? Right. You keep an eye on it. You tell me if any starts coming out of there. That works. I'm going to need a bigger vessel. I'll come back to you when I've done it. My God, I'm making such an unbelievable amount of mess. This was such a bad idea. Okay, so for some reason it stopped coming out, so I'm just going to bite the bullet and take the petcock off with that big nut there and drain the rest out, because there is still a fair bit in there, I think. There's still quite a lot in there, and no matter how hard I suck, I can't get it to work. It didn't really seem to work. I think that must be the, I don't know, some sort of fuel sender or whatever, but I thought that was the fuel sender, to be honest, so I do not know. But I think maybe the problem was that there's a bit of a reserve, because if you tip it on its side, it all starts flooding out again. So that's what I'm going to do for now, I think. Just tip it on its side and see what happens. Try not to get any more of it on the floor if I can help it. So I'll probably screw that back in, tip it sideways, and do the vacuum thing again. It's a lot easier with proper petcocks, isn't it? You know what? I think we've probably got enough out of there. Is that rust or sediment at the bottom? Ah, well, we'll wait to find out. So there's some new fuel in it now, and I've put the airbox back on with no filter element in it. I know obviously it's going to be running a bit lean, but I figured that's probably the lesser two evils between running lean and sucking bits of foam into the fuel system and everything. So here's my spare battery, which is on this charger, 12 volt battery, currently running at 4.8, so that's no good. So let's try this one now. I'll just switch it off. This is the one that actually came off that bike. Let's see how that's doing. Probably not so amazing. Yeah, that ain't really going to do it, is it? So I think what I'm going to do is keep this one on charge, see if it does bump the charge up overnight or anything. This one I'm going to put on again, just as a voltage regulator. So the old battery's back in. Let's shut the lid and see if we can start it. Now I don't for a second expect the start button to work. My first electric start bike, by the way. 50 quid. Anything happen here if I turn it on? No. Oh, I hear a relay somewhere. Oh my god. How awesome is this? It's even lighting up on here, look. Yeehaw. Right, optimism. Ha, no. Fuel gauge seems to work though. Let's try the headlights. Yeah, I think that's pretty much not going to happen. Right, I'm going to try and kick her over. Is there a choke button or anything? I know it's electric, but what does that do? Is that like a handbrake situation? Pull it down, pull that in, and it. Oh yeah, it locks. Stops it rolling down a hill. It's full of surprises, this thing. Ah, that's not good. It's stuck. Does that mean it's hydrolocked like the other one was? Or does it mean something else is happening? Bear with me on this one. I might have to take the spark plug out in a minute. Some of these have this thing where you pump it up and then press a brake. Is it that one? Nope. Is it that one? Nope. Okay. That's interesting. I wonder if there's a thing about how to start it in the manual. Does the horn work? Oh yes. Quality. No, those don't seem to do much. Right, let's read up on how to start it then, shall we? I'm afraid I had to call it a day at that point because my wife called me in for something and then realised how much I stank of stale petrol and got quite annoyed. So the problem that was occurring there was I'd kick it over a couple of times and then the kickstart lever would get jammed, which is sometimes a symptom of being hydrolocked, sometimes it's a mechanical problem, so I'm going to have to look into that. It's coming to work with me in my van. I'm going to fettle it up on a long lunch break, hopefully do a first start video soon, and if you like what you see, please subscribe and please find me on Google Plus if you can. Thank you very much.